Mouse fingers hovering over the like and favourite buttons. MrVanleider here, bringing you another classic YouTube video. So likey, favourite, comment. No? Reserving judgment? Fair enough. Yeah. Got the meat sweats. Pretty much over the meat sweats today, actually. I went out for a Brazilian last night. And that's probably not what you think it is. No wax-related story for you. Yeah, Brazilian food. You kind of go to a restaurant, you get some sort of side dishes, some potatoes, some bread products, some carbohydrate, and then these, I'm not sure if they're actually Brazilian, they might be fake, I'm really not entirely sure, but they seem like they might be Brazilian, and they just constantly bring you meat. Until you tell them to stop, literally until you tell them to stop. And I was out with a friend, and he's celebrating his birthday, and the people, some of the many people, 10 I think people that I was out with, did not want meat to be stopped being brought to the table, and we had meat on meat being brought to the table. And yeah, you just, if you want a chili chicken, you say, bring some more chili chicken, and they bring some more chili chicken. And if you want sort of a garlic steak, say that. If you want leg of lamb, you want that. They just bring all sorts of meat, and you consume it. That's pretty much all. Took some time to recover from the meat sweats. But I went pretty ham at the start of this game. I'm still using the PDW, because, well, why wouldn't you? The game was so SMG based. Just lately I've been getting into the FAL though, which won't be news to anyone really on Call of Duty World, because yeah, there's loads of other videos out there saying it's massively overpowered and whatnot, but I don't use it with select fire as everyone else seems to. I just like to pop the trigger really quickly. It's really satisfying to use, and actually quite easy to use as well, that way. I like the laser sight because you just two-shot people from the hip. It's very good fun. But anyway, enough about Call of Duty. You don't really care about that. I just get VSATs on stealth choppers on lightning strikes. So not using the big streaks. Get a pretty nice score. Thought it was going to be 100 plus at the halfway stage, but as so often happens, yeah, it gets harder in the second half sometimes to get kills when, I don't know whether the enemies decided, yeah, we've lost this, we'll just play a bit more defensively, they stop rushing the flags, it becomes harder to get streaks, or if it's your teammates go and cap the flags. But anyway, I said I'd stop talking about Call of Duty about 5 minutes ago, then I continued to talk about Call of Duty. I'm going to pause for breath. Okay. Yeah, what should I talk about? A 10-year-old, not 10-year-old, I'm not that old, but a story from a long time ago, so, kind of wistful music. Let's bring in some wistful music. Okay. Okay, nice. Yeah, so I was at university, yeah, I've got qualifications and stuff. I've got a degree in law, if you're interested, and I got it from Canterbury University, the University of Kent at Canterbury. Yeah. It's a very sort of pretty oldie worldy style. If Americans are watching this, it's probably what you picture England to be like everywhere. That's probably a pretty good description. There was a lot of American tourists actually there, and they'd ask things like, hey, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the cathedral? And the Canterbury Cathedral is it's a giant cathedral. It's the only thing over 2 stories virtually in the entire city of Canterbury. You can see it from everywhere and miles around. And there are people asking me how to get to it. So you just point them in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's up there, the opposite direction to where it actually is. But yeah, this story is not about the cathedral, the beautiful city of Canterbury, or my qualification getting... going ham on the qualifications, I don't know. Yeah, this is a story about bars and celebrities, and almost a fight that I got in with a very minor celebrity. Okay, so I was out on a night out. It was like a social evening for the Cricket Society, which I hung about with, although admittedly didn't play much cricket at all, and also the rugby team, who it was like a joint social, and it was in a cocktail bar in Canterbury, and on Wednesday nights the cocktails for students were half price. So you got a jug of incredibly alcoholic cocktail. Let's fucking cut the music. We don't need the music anymore. You got a jug of incredibly alcoholic cocktail for not very much money if you were a student, and that equaled good times. So I was out with all of these people and some other various people from university that I recognised. You know, it's a fairly small town. You recognise most people that you see out from the university campus or whatever. So out with these people, I'm taking some photographs with a friend. A friend, a girl that I knew. She was one of these sort of short, tiny, pixie-ish girls, but she was very good looking, and that may have played a part in my downfall. So I'm taking some pictures with her camera and just messing around and stuff, and she tells me to take a picture of these two people that are sat like in the corner, a guy and a woman. Sort of, you know, they look about our age. They look like students at the university. So I assume these people are our friends. So I take a picture of these two people, and the guy, the girl doesn't really notice. She's just chatting away, and the guy is staring at me, like giving me the stink eye. And I don't really understand why, because I assume that this guy's just, you know, one of the pixie girl's friends. And, you know, this is all a laugh. I just, you know, is he doing a pose? What's he doing? So I take the picture, and then he's all up in my face. You know, like with, he's, at this point, he's got a strong Australian, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's a strong Australian accent, but it's a recognisable Australian accent. And he's up in my, what are you doing? What are you taking a picture of me for? Oh, this girl told me to take a picture of you. And it turned out that he was, actor from Australian soap opera Neighbours, which is it's one of these soap operas where everyone's really good looking, that you have in America and Australia. In England, people in soap operas are kind of average looking. There's kind of one or two. They're not realistic, but they're more realistic in the sense that not everyone is really good looking. But this guy was an actor. I'll put a picture up. He was Stu from Neighbours, and Stu was not impressed. But I pointed out to him that the many guys who were standing around getting very standing behind me were all out with me, and this guy was out with a girl from actually English, British, whatever, soap opera Hollyoaks, and she was pretty good looking. But I guess it looked like I was trying to cap some shot of this minor celebrity in his eyes. Well, I'm sure he wasn't a minor celebrity in his eyes. I was trying to cap a shot of this guy with a girl who was also famous, and maybe sell it to some dreadful magazine that, you know, may be interested. So he was pretty offended by that. But yeah, it ended pretty quickly when I pointed out the thousands of fellas behind me who were all out with me, and asked who he was out with, and it was no one. But that's a story about a very nearly altercation with a sled. It would have been a lot better if he'd have hit me. Much better story if he'd have hit me. But, you know, I'm not going to lie to you. That was the story of Stu from Neighbours becoming affronted that I took a picture of him. I don't really know what else to say for the rest of this commentary. It's been quite a nice game, I think. Probably could have just made stupid like errors, like, here, why am I shooting all these guys and dying here? It's just stupid. But yeah, enjoying this game still, going well. Much more fun to play solo than recent Call of Duties, because you get less sweaty lobbies. This guy dies. Rambo, he kept rushing me in this game. He was pretty annoying, actually. Yeah, don't really know what to tell you now. Don't get in fights. Don't get really drunk in a bar. I actually got barred from the same establishment in Canterbury on a similar cricket social gathering. Look at all these guys on the flag, and then how do I not kill any? I got barred from the place later when some said same cocktail jugs ended up being flung across the bar at each other. They were plastic, so I don't think anyone could have died. But yeah, I somehow copped the blame for all that. So, moral lesson: Don't get really drunk. You'll start a fight with an Australian minor celebrity, or you will get barred from a bar forever and branded a criminal. MrVanleider, please like the video now if you liked it. That was rambling. Bye.